And welcome, episode 121, Red Leaf Retrocast, retroGaming. I'm JD. My theme pick today, guys. Very excited. Joey, Colin, I'm sure you had a wonderful time playing your favorite genre of games.
Yeah, more point and click.
If you can call it a game.
They were games, Joey. They were games that had puzzles and dialogue.
Oh, lots and lots of dialogue.
Yes. So we're going back. It is Cyberpunk Derivative. So we're sticking with a mixture of our post-apocalypse, different cyberpunk world, punky stuff, and PC type games. I picked a couple there. Kind of have some nostalgia for the games, and then surprisingly, I came to find out, guys, that I remember next to nothing about these games because they were so long ago.
I never even heard of them.
Never heard of one of them, huh? Okay. I could understand one of the two, but...
I've never heard of either of them.
Really? Okay.
Same.
All right. Well, it should be interesting then, considering. And this kind of hit me. Do you know in November that a full year of both these, the Wii and the PS3 will have come out at that point in time?
Huh.
So games like Super Mario Galaxy will now qualify. Retro. I love the moving aspect of it all. So, yeah, Cyberpunk Derivative is the theme topic. We had a couple directs and state of play that came out. Nintendo and Sony kind of previewed the remainder of the year and a decent little 2023 preview of their games. Did you guys happen to watch the Nintendo Direct or State of Play?
No.
I meant to, but I didn't get around to it.
All right. So I will say definitely preferred what Nintendo did for their Direct. A lot of farm simulators coming out. There was 5 of them in the Direct.
That's what I saw. People making fun of it.
Yeah, I'm watching this, and I threw out a tweet. I'm like, what the fuck is with all these farm simulators? It's so bizarre. But they
Is
are
there any Rune Factory?
Rune Factory is one of them. There was 2 Rune Factories, the newest one, and then a remaster of 3, I think, along with some various other farm simulators that don't look as interesting. Just a very strange wave of popularity, I guess. They have to be popular, otherwise why would you make them, right?
I guess.
Splatoon 3, doing very well in sales, so we'll be hearing about that for the foreseeable future. I don't think I'm getting Splatoon 3.
What?
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Yeah. Well, as much as I love the first 1 and 2, I really kind of wanted Splatoon 3 to either add a lot more to the game in the sense of you playing with friends and maybe expand on the single player a little bit more. I know its full purpose is online multiplayer gaming. It's Nintendo's thing. I fully understand that. Just for me and what I want out of this game going forward, you can keep that, but there's still no local player, local multiplayer. The only way you can do that is if you have another friend with Splatoon 3 and another Switch, and then you can hook it up. And do the little digital thing. I think that's still a massive gap in the game's need, and the single player, while okay, it's still just very bare bones for a lot of it. It just seems it seems more geared for a tutorial on how to play the game more than an actual single player experience. So the multiplayer just doesn't do it enough for me. I mean, come on, how long do I have to talk? I like the I'm the type of gamer that doesn't really I'm not geared towards online multiplayer games in the first place. So it's my opinion on Splatoon 3. Very popular though. Sold well.
Seems to.
Yeah, and then a whole lot of remasters coming out for the Switch. A lot of games that sort of didn't even see the light of day in America. Front Mission 2, I think, came to mind. So I'm excited for that one. And then just a host of other games, some RPGs. Sony, on the other hand, when they showed their state of play, there was a couple things that caught my eye, but mostly it felt like, you know what? Let me pull this up. Sony state of play. Okay, here we go. Let's go to IGN, I guess. Let's see, Tekken 8, more God of War. The Star Wars, that was very oriented. A Yakuza spin-off game that looked nice. It seems very licensey, if that makes sense.
I guess.
Yeah? No? The developers of Neo are doing an open-world samurai game called Rise of the Ronin. That one really, stuck out to me. So I'm into that. Who knows when it'll come out, but probably, not for another 2 or 3 years, I would imagine. And that's kind of it from Sony. They were very much about, Star Wars and Harry Potter and things that require, big licenses. Kind of open for a little bit more, but I guess we'll have to wait on that. Sony's got other issues to deal with, such as the price increase of the PS5, which is kind of maddening.
Yeah.
They released a new trailer for Ragnarok.
They did. I mean, it looks like a great game. I've put in my pre-order for it.
I'm looking at the Polygon article on Nintendo Direct, and there's a few here that interest me.
What you got?
Like the Final Fantasy rhythm game, Theater Rhythm.
Yeah, they've really expanded on that a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like it won't just be Final Fantasy games. You'll see stuff from Nier and Octopath Traveler and Live Alive. Yes.
one of my games. Yeah. I just got. Yeah, they're doing kind of an all square thing, which is kind of neat. Octopath Traveler 2 was announced. That I kind of popped for that. I was like, yes, let's go.
And I see Bayonetta 3 is coming out for Switch.
Yeah, that was announced previously. Just waiting for that to be released.
I still have to play Bayonetta 1.
I have to beat 2, but I don't know if I'm going to get around to do that.
There's also Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7.
Yep, one of the remasters.
Radiant Silvergun.
Yeah, we played that on the podcast.
Yeah. But that was previously on Sega Saturn and Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah,
now we can play it portable.
Very expensive.
Indeed. Trying to see what else. Breath of the Wild 2. I should really look at that video later, because I've been interested to see more.
Yeah, I mean, it's that was announced for May 2023, so it's more or less right around the corner, and people are going to lose their minds, rightfully so. This I don't know if you guys think this, but see if I gauge your opinion. Zelda, good game series.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay, just all right. Maybe sold a game or two.
Zelda.
Ever heard of it?
Not ringing a bell.
Not ringing a bell, Joey.
No, I can't think of. I don't think I've ever heard of Zelda.
Yeah, I know you've heard of an everlasting quest.
I think I know Zelda. That's Robin Williams' daughter. So I do know Zelda.
You're right. We're fools. Yeah, definitely. It's weird they make a video game character based on Robin Williams' daughter's name. It's very strange.
Yeah, very curious.
Ridiculous. Okay, time for me to bitch. It's gonna be real quick. You ready for this bitch mode?
Okay.
All right. So I signed papers to buy a house on Thursday. Okay. And even a verbal agreement with the seller. Okay, follow me so far?
You so far.
Went to the bank on Thursday afternoon to deposit the check to said seller to buy said house that had the verbal agreement. Okay?
And it went sideways, I take it?
Oh, hold on, Colin. You're ruining the punchline here. The bitch line begins with my realtor Thursday morning giving me a there was a line there that really stuck out in my head, and that's where I'm like, first of all, verbal agreements, they mean shit all to me. Okay?
Uh-huh.
I don't trust people. Think I trust Joey? That face? Maybe a lot, but anyways. But there was a line in there where he goes, there's some conditions from the seller that need to be met. And I later find out that one of them, he said there was two, but he only told me one of them. And one of them was, in case the owner can't find a place, then they have a 30-day extension to, try to find one, essentially, before they can officially hand over the keys to me. I went, all right, another 30 days, no big deal, whatever. That's fine. Signed the paper again, threw it off, and I go, so what's the second one? He goes, I can't tell you that. I'm like, why? That seems cryptic and weird. He goes, all right, well, I guess we'll wait till Friday. And I was like, what the fuck? What am I missing here? Something's weird. I got all worried, and I was all stressed out. I was very anxious, like all day on Thursday because of this. And I wake up Friday morning, going to work, 7 o'clock in the morning. I see a Zillow notification of the house. And it says pending. I'm like,
Oh, boy.
I was like, that's weird. I didn't get a notification that it's mine. So I wait a couple hours. I'm like, all right, maybe my realtor's like not up yet, needs to like wake up. Only crazy people go to work at like 5 o'clock in the morning like me. Or if you have to sit through Houston traffic, which is also crazy. So
Or if you had to sling garbage.
Which is also crazy.
Yeah, right. So like 9 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, all right, I'll text him. Hey, I saw Zillow had a notification, blah, blah, blah. He goes, oh, that's weird. I haven't heard anything. I'll look into this for you. And my heart sank. I went, oh no. I don't like where this is going. And I didn't hear anything for another couple hours. Right before lunch, I get a text saying, she decided to back out and sell it to somebody else. Right before like the final like signature and to actually submit it was done. And I went, son of a bitch. And I proceeded to bitch for the next like 3-4 hours at work. And let's just say I kind of drank a lot on Friday night in just pure rage.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah. Thank you for coming to my bitch session. It was very therapeutic. I've been doing it all weekend.
I guess so.
So in fun news, in my drunken rage stupor, I was like, a soccer game's going to be on Saturday. That'll be fun to go to. We should go to that. So a couple of my bowling teammates on Friday night, I was like, all right, I'll get the tickets. We'll get the standing room, the $25 behind the net. I like those. Joey, you like those tickets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Supporters screaming, blah, blah, blah. It's like Saturday afternoon, and I still don't have like the transfer tickets from StubHub. It just says, please wait until the third-party seller will send you the notification. So now I'm like checking my spam box and all this nonsense. I'm like, why do I not have these tickets yet? And so friend comes, picks me up. We're off to the game, and he goes, so where are we sitting? I was like, I don't know. We don't have the tickets yet. They haven't sent them. And I had called StubHub in the afternoon. They go, they just got to send it. You give them time. Call us back if there's a problem. So it's like 30 minutes before game time. We're in the parking lot. Back to drinking. More of that. Might have a problem. And so I call StubHub. Like, hey, we don't have the tickets. Let's go. Oh, that's very weird. I'll look into this. I'm like, I am so sick of this phrase right now. Please look into something that actually will benefit me. So StubHub calls me back. They go, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Blah, blah, blah. Is there anywhere you would like to sit? I'm like, what does that mean? Like, do I have to pay more? No. Just pick a place. And I just kind of on a whim go, I don't know, like the first row in midfield? No problem, sir. Here you go. Sent my tickets over in like 5 minutes. We're on the fucking field. They're like $300 seats. We paid $25 for. I was like, yes. So that was awesome. This time, the MLS game was not a ice blizzard. It was very nice weather. And the Revs lost again to, this time, Montreal. So again, thumbs up for there. There's my stories. Good stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. Are you sad and happy for me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe.
your enthusiasm.
Well, it looked like it was a cute little house.
Thanks, Joey. It really did, didn't it?
But who knows? Probably has a bunch of problems. I hear there's a spider infestation in the basement.
Yeah, I heard there's like asbestos and other poisonous things that are rampant throughout the house. Yeah, definitely.
And I hear it smells like bitch, and you can't really get that
Smells
smell
like
out.
bitch. I thought about calling up my friend Nancy Kerrigan to pew, and maybe some concrete slippers are in order. Okay. I played a little Triangle Strategy, and I played like a couple missions, trying to save the slaves from the slave people from absolute annihilation of their people. So that's where I'm at in that game. How about you, Colin? Joey, what have you been playing?
Not nearly as much as I'd like, because it's been a very busy couple of weekends. I had 2 family outings last weekend. One with my sister visiting with her boyfriend from Germany, and the second to celebrate my mom and sister-in-law's birthdays, both at once. And as if that's not time-consuming enough, I had to get my car fixed on the last day off I had before my work week started again. Looks like it's time for a new one.
All right.
Basically the wheel bearing lost 2 of the studs. So I had to go. Not only was that not safe to drive, that was like the night before I had to go to like Cambridge, which is like an hour and a half drive away. So there's no fucking way I am driving all the way there on a wheel that has 2 studs missing. So I had to get a rental car. Thankfully, my mom helped pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the following day, brought my car to the mechanic to get it fixed, and in order to kill time, I brought my 3DS and Switch with me. Played a little bit of Dragon Quest V. I mean, it's not as much as I'd like to, but I got to the point where Saber rejoins the party, and then I get the spell that lets you warp between towns you visited before. And then one of the other characters gets married. That's pretty much as far as I got so far. One thing we should point out is all the wordplay and puns in this game.
Sure.
For instance, you visit the church of Above It All, and whenever you talk to a nun, the label that appears in her dialogue box is none of the above. Get it? See what they did there?
Totally got it.
But yeah, I also played a little, went back to Toki Tori after 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still on my 3DS. Solved 1 or 2 of the harder puzzles, and then I moved to my Switch. And on that, I decided to give Cyber Shadow a try. I believe you've played that before, JD.
Which is the game? I didn't hear that.
Cyber Shadow.
Oh yeah, that game's hard as fuck at the end. Jesus Christ. I couldn't beat it. No, did I beat it? I couldn't beat it. Did I beat it? I don't remember. I think I beat it.
Yeah,
I think that was this year too. It's been a long year.
But yeah, the first couple of levels I had a blast with, as it feels very much like Ninja Gaiden. Quite hard at points, but the power-ups you can get are pretty cool, like the blade slash extender or the spinny blade that swings around you on a bungee chain. You can hit it to go further in front of you, or jump to make it go up and down to hit hard-to-reach enemies. Yeah, so far I'm having fun with it. But
you're gonna get to a point where you will just go into a fit of rage because it's super difficult.
Well, I'll see when I get there, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are all the non-podcast games I'm playing.
Joey, you beat a game and you got a thing?
Yes, I got a thing and then I beat the game. Come on, get it right, dumbass. So I finally got the Steam Deck. I got a little notification on September 4th that said, "Hey, your deck's ready. You have 24 hours to buy it, or you lose your spots." I'm
Oh
like,
my god!
Okay. I'm buying it. So I got it, and it finally came Tuesday this week. So then I was searching for games to play. I tried to play Rogue Legacy 2 on it, but I'm not used to the controller, so a lot of the timings for like the jumping off of different things, trying to bounce other stuff, I couldn't get right, so I had to put that down, and then I searched to see what games would actually be good on the Steam Deck.
Okay.
And I saw a couple recommendations for God of War, which I haven't played, so I was like, fuck it.
Give it a try.
Let me play it. And it was actually pretty easy to play on the Steam Deck in the beginning when combat wasn't that intense.
Okay.
So, but I ended up beating God of War because I played it 26 hours since Tuesday. So I really liked the game.
The first one, right?
Like as well. The 2018 one.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that was great. That was a good game.
Yeah, I mean, there's sometimes I didn't like it because it felt like the game was just playing itself and I was just there for the ride. But the story ended up being pretty good, so I didn't really mind it. I mean, a lot of times you're just like forced to walk at a slow pace while people are
that's
talking, and you're just like, if you're gonna do that, just don't even make me walk. Just walk it for me. Like, what's the point of me holding a joystick while I listen? But now I'm in the end game part. I'm trying to do like the roguelike part where you enter that the Nephilim or whatever.
Oh,
and you gotta enter the
wacky
mist and everything changes.
Yeah, the wacky labyrinth and shit.
Yeah, very roguelike. And then
what'd you think of the crazy Valkyries?
I'm still working my way through. I've only killed 2 so far.
Okay.
Trying to get strong enough to kill the one in the maze. I can't.
Hard.
I got all the way up to the Fire Mountain thing. I couldn't fight that one. That one was just destroyed me. So I'm trying to get stronger so I can go back to that one and slowly kill each one. And then I think I might start a Game Plus because I did enjoy it. But there's a lot more stuff I haven't explored. So
the performance of the Steam Deck must be pretty damn good if it can handle
it works
God of War.
Pretty good. I know some people are having issues. You have to take off some of the extra, I forget what it's called, like FR something from the AMD processor that can cause some stuttering. You take that off and it works fine. It does not really work well when it's not plugged in with this game though, because I think it was playing at highest graphics settings. The battery only really lasted like an hour or 2 with that much graphical power, and the thing got warm. But it works well when it's plugged in. It actually handles it really well, so I didn't see any issues with it. So, but now I'm going to be looking for other games to play on the Steam Deck. So I'm tempted to check out some of the Final Fantasy remastered games, the Pixel Master, whatever the fuck they call them. So I might be playing Final Fantasy 6.
Did you ever play like Horizon Zero Dawn?
I have not.
I think you'd like that game.
Is it on Steam?
I believe it is. Yeah, the first one.
Yeah. Let me see.
That's one of my favorite games of all time.
Literally right there. PS Studio, 75% off today on Steam.
Hey.
Publisher sale. What all games are on this publisher sale? So yeah, I might check it out.
Yeah, or one of the newer Tomb Raiders that you haven't played.
I bought God of War at full price and now it's 20% off. God damn it. Horizon is 60% off, so I might check it out.
Yeah, make sure you get the one with the DLC attached to it, the Ice
Complete Edition. So I'm assuming it has everything for $20. I might check that out.
Yeah.
And then Predator, 75% off.
I don't think you want that one.
Days Gone, 60% off.
Maybe Days Gone you want 80% off.
Fair enough. Hell Divers. What the fuck is that? I don't know. I'm gonna check it out and see. Probably pick up a couple more games.
Well, cool. I'm glad the Steam Deck getting good reviews from you.
Yeah,
it's right up your alley.
Are amazing. Like, there's some quality joysticks on that thing.
So how much did it cost you?
That one, I got the most expensive one, so it was $650.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm not going to buy the cheapest one. I wanted the more space, and then might as well just get the most upgraded one. If I'm going to pay $550, might as well just go all out and get the better screen and all that.
You make a good point and argument there.
So I waited long enough to get it. So an extra $100 ain't no thing.
So what do you think of like the buttons and joystick like high up on the console itself? Can you like maneuver those or put them in different places? Like, how is it customizable at all? I guess is what I'm getting at. Or do you have to have all the controls like that high up?
All the controls are that high up. The only thing I hate is R1 and R2 don't feel comfortable with the buttons being that high.
Okay.
So I tried to change, because there are two, like an L4 and L5 or an R4 and R5 on the back.
Right.
I was trying to change it, but God of War wouldn't let me switch up the controls. It just said, hey, you got these controls. So I was like, okay. I wanted like R4 to be my R2 and my R2 to be my R1 because it's more comfortable that way. So that's the reason why I couldn't.
Yeah, I was reading, because I have the Steam controller, and that's what I use to play a lot of my Steam games. And I wish I could play like more GOG games, because I tend to play more GOG these days. But it seems like the Steam Deck and its like control fixtures and its customability is very much based on the Steam controller in a lot of ways.
Yeah. So hopefully other games I can switch for stuff, because those are R1 and our L2 buttons or L1 buttons just don't feel comfortable with where the buttons are.
Right.
Like my hand just doesn't want to sit nicely.
Below the joysticks are those little like thumb pads.
Yeah, they're actually pretty responsive. So
so it's exactly like the Steam controller. Yeah, it's probably made a little better too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. Just got to find more games to play on it. So lets me play games while watching TV.
Yeah, so 64 gig, 400 carrying case, 256 gigs, 529 faster storage, exclusive Steam Community Profile Bundle, and 512, 650. Joey doesn't buy what the poors buy. He buys what the rich people buy. Fastest storage, premium anti-glare etch glass, exclusive carrying case,
the case
exclusive
is nice.
Steam Community Profile Bundle, exclusive virtual keyboard theme.
Yeah, I did put one of the themes on there, so money's worth, baby. Now the case is really nice. I just wanted that anti-glare screen, so I think it was worth it going up to.
I mean, for double storage and like $100, it seems like negligible at that point.
Yeah, I'm not going to go with the lowest end. That just seems silly.
Yeah, you definitely don't want what the poor people get. No way.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean that's poor people and orphan children. I bet. Just gross.
Kids.
Meanwhile, I'm probably going to be homeless in like 30 days. It's fine.
Yeah, you'll make it.
That's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Fine. I don't have a Steam Deck,
resourceful.
Therefore life just isn't fair.
Well, you should have got a Steam Deck.
I should have got a Steam Deck.
Then
being homeless is like just a thing that happened. It's like whatever. Steam Deck in my car, that's way better than a house.
Yeah.
All
it's
right.
like a computer.
It's exactly like a computer, some say.
So that's all you need.
All right. If that's it, I guess we can get into our two games at hand. Any any disagreements with that?
No.
No? Okay. Here we go. That was the Shattered Hand theme. Banging.
Cool.
Yeah, got a request to play more kind of retro drops every now and again, but anyways. So the first game, well, I guess first of all, I have to explain myself. I did a Cyberpunk Derivative. So there's a certain genre that I wanted to play based on kind of our last couple themes. And I wanted to figure out a way to get a little away from the kind of games we have been playing and get something that's more... The point and click aspect was not part of it, but it was definitely kind of the mechanical 1920s uh, uh, just the type of atmosphere and world that the game will put you in. And because we played like Deus Ex and BioShock in the last episode, I was like, okay, what about looking at it from a different perspective and a different play style of kind of a similar type game, but with a dialogue that is more indicative of just how the world is and the people just kind of living through it, rather than some sort of dystopian dialogue. Is humanity right? What have you done with humanity? These kinds of things. That was my train of thought there. And I wanted to try to hit on my nostalgia a little bit more. Because I would say both these games, one of them in particular, I played in Germany when I was living over there, and it helped me learn the language. And so did the second one, but I was kind of a little later when I was in college, so I had a bigger grasp on the language and much easier to play through. So that's the train of thought there. I played both these games originally in German. This was my first time playing them in English, which made me realize weird thing in my head where I don't remember the dialogue being exactly like this, because we're going to get to a character. I was like, I don't recall him being this annoying. So those kinds of things, but I think that also has to do with me learning the language, and I don't know the intricacies of how people talk and how it comes across in conversation. While the second time around, it's like, okay, I do get it a lot more this time. So there's the rundown there. The first game. Well, before I begin, Colin, what is your overall thoughts over the two games you played, and did the genre hold it back from you, I guess, enjoying them to your fullest extent?
With one of them, I couldn't figure out where to go next because there's some obscure thing I guess I have to do to advance, which is why I didn't play it more than I did. But the other one felt more intuitive, so I like that one more. Plus the visual style kind of reminded me of Myst.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to put it. I also wanted to get like two completely different eras of games. One from like the late 80s, early 90s, and then another from the late 90s, early 2000s. Because there's different limitations or things that they can do with them.
Ah, yeah.
Joey, how about you?
Well, one of them I couldn't get to work, so I'd end up having to watch, and the dialogue felt really stiff, so I didn't really like it. And the other one I thought was funny and interesting, but didn't hold your hand at all. So,
okay. So let's get into our first game. It is called Beneath a Steel Sky. I will say right away, both these games are available on Good Old Games, GOG, and I think one of them, I'm not sure, are they both on Steam? I know one of them is.
I didn't check.
One of them I got for free on GOG.
Yeah, so this game is Beneath a Steel Sky. It is it's made available as freeware. The source code was released way back in like 2003. So
it's also free on Steam.
It is free on Steam as well. So very, very easy to get a hold of and play. There is a little remastered version that came out like 10 years ago on the phone, so I think you can even get it on there. Beneath the Steel Sky came out in 1994 on Amiga and DOS. It's developed by Revolution Software, published by Virgin Interactive Entertainment. We're very familiar with the Virgin brand there. The synopsis / I'll go with the plot. I'll just read kind of the first section of this, because these games are very story-driven and dialogue-heavy. They are point-and-click adventures with various puzzles, but different way of going about the puzzles. The immediate backstory is introduced via a comic book that tells the story of a young boy called Robert, who's the sole survivor of a helicopter crash in The Gap. Too young to fend for himself, Robert is adopted by a group of locals who teach him the skills he needs to survive in a new environment. They name him Robert Foster, partly due to him being fostered by them. So we have an orphan here, boys. So obviously we must hate this main character with all our beings. But they also, because of the discovery of an empty can of Foster's lager found near the crash site. So at least that's funny. Over the years, Foster learns engineering and technology, builds a talking sentient robot called Joey. He's very sassy, just like my buddy Joey over here. Joey's super sassy. Joey's personality is stored on a small circuit board, which can easily be inserted and removed into many types of robots. I love this part about the game.
That was very interesting.
Yeah, different sort of puzzles are unlocked from doing those things, and this allows him to change bodies as the situation requires, provided his circuit board is not damaged. His commentaries on the current shell he is in is running gag throughout the game. Let's see here. Foster is kidnapped by his tribe, annihilated soldiers, blah, blah, blah. Makes his way to a recycling plant, carrying Joey's circuit board with him, and he essentially goes about this recycling plant, just kind of causing mischief throughout the building as a, like, I don't know, I was calling him an insurance inspector or an auditor. That's what he was doing, and he was doing rambunctious things to get into places where he's not supposed to be. And I played probably about 2 hours of this before I had to stop, because then life got in the way there of, trying to buy a house that I ultimately didn't get. And it really made me contemplate my life choices. Didn't really get to, like, the actual plot of the game. I think I was, like, just about there, because you don't really know the sense of, like, urgency or who's the bad guy here, but there's something about in the game where you have to, like, get it. There's wacky things like getting a hole in your head, which is some implant, where then you can go to, like, another place of the game, and there's commentaries over rich people live on the bottom, and that's where all the bars are, and then, like, the further you go up is the poor area. So it's almost like a flipped upside down version of what you normally associate rich to poor in a society. So what'd you guys think? Colin, how about you go first?
I like the graphic novel approach the game starts with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the first 10 or 15 minutes. And the visual style of the game itself is pretty cool. Reminded me a lot of King's Quest V. And I like Joey's dialogue, very sarcastic and meta, especially when he pokes fun of the usual trope of player characters generally having no personality or unique characteristics. Does anybody remember that bit?
Say it one more time.
When Joey pokes fun of the usual trope of player characters generally having no personality or unique characteristics.
Oh, I mean, I just kind of brush things like that off. But Joey in general throughout the game, not you, Joey. Don't be confused with a sentient robot that's sassy. But his overall quips and dialogue is more just poking fun at anything and everything he can, and especially a situation. I mean, shit, there's a lot of, like, sexual jokes with other robots in the game that was making me laugh.
My favorite joke was when you go up to the smasher thing, and he's like, it's wheezing and banging. Sounds like an asthmatic dinosaur mating season.
That's pretty funny.
That's a good one.
Yeah, there was one really stupid one I ran across last night. It's like, hold on, you need a rad suit to go in there. What? This suit is plenty rad. That was so cheesy, but it made me chuckle.
It's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of jokes like that. There's, I mean, even so, there's like the plant manager. I think he was called Overman or something. He has that sort of dialogue where you can totally it's just about every boss dickhead that you've ever had. It's like, oh, you're messing up production kind of deal, and just his dialogue in general is just it's poking fun at just people like that. I think is very relatable.
Yeah, I didn't get past the part where you have to put Joey into that welding robot's body because I couldn't figure out what to do next. There's like no indication of what to activate.
So one thing about the game I did enjoy is the fact it didn't hold your hand, but the puzzles weren't these cryptic nonsense things. Like you would end up, for example, it's not clear immediately what you're supposed to do, but you go to a certain area and of the plant, and there's a storage closet, and it clearly says essentially humans can't go in there, but robots can. So you're like, oh, okay, this is where Joey comes in. So you send Joey in there, and he has a quip coming out. It's like, oh, there's all these things. And you're like, well, go back in there and shut it off kind of situation. So those are the kinds of puzzles you kind of deal with where in order for you to advance in the game, it more or less it doesn't tell you what you need to do. You just got to figure that out. And it's a lot more simple than it lets on. You don't want to overcomplicate it. While in games like King's Quest or Leisure Suit Larry, like those kinds of Sierra type games, where they try to make it as ridiculous as possible to finish the puzzle, with a pseudo comedy to it that weirdly makes sense when you put them together. So in those Sierra games, you find yourself just kind of combining random things until it goes ding. In Beneath a Steel Sky, it was just send this thing over here and you do it. Or there's dialogue puzzles where you have to go through sections of dialogue in order to get to the right answer at the end. It was kind of like a simple trial and error, which I did enjoy.
Yeah, the voice acting was decent too, especially for the time.
Yeah, early 90s. It was not bad. Not bad.
Well, there are plenty of different accents involved. There was like a Irish accent and Scottish accent with the whole assembly line bit.
Yeah, it was like a Brooklyn type accent with the one security guard in the beginning.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on here? What, like, I thought it was in Australia because the kangaroos. I have no idea where this place is.
So, Joey, what did you think?
I surprisingly actually liked this game.
Hell yeah. All right. Let's go.
I mean, it did get a bit annoying clicking around because I sat around for a bit. I had to look up a walkthrough.
Did you play it on your Steam Deck?
No, I got it on GOG, so I didn't put it on Steam.
Well, I have noticed that a lot of these older point-and-click games, like King's Quest or Beneath Steel Sky here, they generally work better coming on GOG.
Yeah, the older stuff. Because they keep the old game. They don't try to do the updated one. The one on Steam actually looks like it was remastered because the graphics are
okay
different. They're like the beginning scene is slightly kind of 3D looking instead of like the basic thing. I don't know. There's like a little extra detail in the Steam one that I didn't have, at least in my GOG version. So I don't know if it's completely remastered, but it might have been like the mobile version that they used the graphics for or something. It looked more clean. But it did get annoying. I didn't know I had to jump down a hole. So I was like, what the hell am I doing? So I had to look up a little walkthrough to help guide me a little bit. But
what's your opinion? So I was asking a couple other friends of mine that love point-and-click adventure games, and I asked them just straight up, what's your opinion on using walkthroughs for these kinds of games? Just kind of following along, because it's so dialogue heavy, and maybe we all kind of don't want to waste our time these days, especially the older we get, So my opinion, actually, I'll save my opinion. What about Joey, Colin? What is your opinion on using walkthroughs for dialogue-heavy puzzle-type games like this?
If you want to just get through it, I don't care using a guide, but I like to use it as a crutch if I get stuck. okay, this is what I do, and then I don't read it. I try to go onto myself. So I like using it that way. I use it a little more this one so I can get further in the game, just so I can have a better idea. But yeah, I think it kind of takes the point about even playing the game that's barely even played if you have someone tell you what to do.
Okay. Colin, you agree with that?
Kinda. The way I do it is I usually try to figure it out as much as I can by myself, but then if it's just not occurring to me, if I've tried everything I can think of and it just doesn't do anything, then yeah, for the sake of saving time, I'm gonna look up a walkthrough for that specific area and then keep going by myself till the next part where I get stuck. Because I'm a busy man. I don't have time to be thinking hard about this stuff.
Okay.
Just something my younger self would never have imagined I would ever say in my life.
Real gamers play at least 300 hours plus of every game they own and are willing to just devote their lives to playing a game as much as possible. That's what a real gamer is. Mario, not a real game. Animal Crossing, child shit. Get that out of here.
Yeah, reminds me of a meme I saw a while ago. You see this kid gripping a game that's glowing, and he's like, gaming then. I got a new game. I must play it now. Gaming now as an adult. See this guy looking at his shelf. He's like, this game will look good on my shelf. I might even look at it occasionally.
Oh, man. Wish I had a place I could put up a shelf and put my games to look at.
You'll have plenty of spaces on the street.
Yeah, just gotta
deal with the occasional burglar.
Yeah, yeah. God damn it.
Just gotta watch it 24/7. Who needs sleep?
Who needs sleep?
Hell,
I'll go to work.
A job?
I'll get a storage unit, just live out there. I'll take showers at work using sinks and rinse water from chemical tanks. I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
Yeah, it's fine.
Jacob, why do you smell so bad today? Hold on. I just gotta get off all this acid. Anyways. I don't have much else to say about Beneath the Steel Sky. I felt like I was like super close to the end, maybe only about an hour left, maybe half an hour. But if that's how long it took just to get to the actual plot of the game, I kind of wish that was more obvious and came earlier in the game.
I don't know. I didn't really feel that way. The other game, I felt like it was slow starting. This one, I felt like
we'll get to that one.
This one, I thought you jumped right into it. I didn't know if there was actually, I mean, I guess the mystery of why you were chosen and taken away from the Gap or whatever the fuck they called it.
Australia,
I guess. The Gap. So, I mean, was there more to the plot than that? I guess trying to figure out why he was stolen or kidnapped.
Yeah.
I mean, I just felt like you just wanted to get out, so I didn't think there'd be any deeper story going on here.
There's a lot of like weird social economic propaganda going on in the game at all times. You notice? But anyways, I passed this game. I do want to beat it, and I hope to do that later today. I do want to finish this.
I also pass it.
Yeah, I'll give it a pass.
Let's see, how long? Beneath a Steel Sky. So how long to beat? Pokes it at 6.5 hours. I played 3 hours of it, so I guess I'm close. Okay. All right. So the next game is Syberia. Published and developed by Microids, came out on just about literally everything in 2002. But I associate this with the PC because I remember I got it super cheap at what was that store called in Germany? They had an electronics store. It's like their version of Best Buy. I'll just put it that way. I can't remember right now off the top of my head what it was, but I think I got this for like $5. in 2006, or 2005 is when I got it. Because I think the sequel came out and that plummeted the first one's price. But another point-and-click adventure game, third-person perspective, a much more adventurous world to it all. Not your kind of 2D graphics deal that Beneath the Steel Sky had. You are Kate Walker. She is, I guess, a lawyer of sorts. And she goes to this little French-Italian village called Valadienne to oversee the corporate takeover of an automaton factory. And, of course, when she arrives, Anna Vorarlberg, however you pronounce her name, she died, and her missing, or her presumably younger brother who was dead, is actually alive, and he's in Siberia. And the automaton factory built a train or something, and all the puzzles in the game is through these little robots that you have special keys or punch cards, or just a sequence of gathering an item to place in another, and a lot of weird, simple, I guess, dialogue between characters. Speaking of simple, there is Momo, who is a simple child. I don't know how much you guys played to interact with one Momo, but he was special, to say the least.
Yeah.
So I played, I think I played this 3 hours as well, up to the point where I got the train to depart and get to the little, I guess, what was that town called? It's I'll call it Baraka Village or something. It's this humid and cryptic environment. I gotta get the train going again. But very, very, this is nothing that what I remember a quaint Russian type village, and I'm going into stores and stuff, and the whole beginning of the game I'm just wandering around this just weird French Italian town, and everyone's all sad because this woman died, and you're here to quote unquote bring life back to the town, and I'm just wandering around getting the backstory of the Vorarlberg family. Not as exciting as I remember, and not as mysterious as I remember at all. My nostalgia has now been ruined because I played the game and I don't remember any of this.
Maybe you picked up on someone else's save file.
Picked up on someone else's save file?
Or, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
Oh.
Talking from the perspective of a guy who played a lot of games on his cousin's computer way back when during visits.
Oh, no. I bought the game in Germany, and then I put it into my host parents' computer and played it from scratch.
Yeah.
I
see. Well, then I have no leg to stand on.
Yeah. It's, God, what was the name of that? But there's music boxes, everything's around this weird obsession with mammoths and how that pertains to trying to find the missing brother. I do really enjoy the aspect about the game of discovering all the different automation machines that are around town and how they work, and how everything is kind of built around just the gears and clockwork. How advanced just kind of voice box technology was apparently in the 20s and the 30s. Very, very cool. Very cool. Joey,
but
I'm sure you love this game a lot.
Oh, no. I hated this game.
Okay, why did you hate it?
I'm going to call them robots. Fuck that town.
No, that is a forbidden word. Why? Nobody knows why. They just don't.
I'm only assuming it's because they don't actually have computer chips or anything. So they're just, most of them seem to be wound up. So they were all just set. They couldn't actually do any input to output type stuff.
Well, how do you explain Oscar?
In the game. I was going to say, I didn't get that far. So maybe later in the game, there was actually robots. For one, I couldn't get this to work, and I didn't feel like buying it again on GOG. So the Steam version didn't work. The dialogue felt way more stiff than Beneath the Steel Sky.
That's true.
It was just painful to listen to at times. And it just felt so slow at the beginning. You just arrived town, you watch the funeral, and then you just talk to a kid, and it's just like, hey, okay, this seems pretty boring. And the whole premise of you being a lawyer for this takeover, like, yay, this is the type of game I want to be, a corporate takeover.
Hell yeah, capitalism, woo! They do it's kind of the opposite of it, because Beneath the Steel Sky was the, like, anti-capitalist corporations taking over, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this one was pro-capitalist corporation taking over, so people could actually work again.
Yeah, I didn't know what time this game came out, but based on the hallways, I'm going to say it's probably early 2000s.
Yeah, 2002.
Yeah, it had the giant hallway syndrome.
Sure did.
But there was just so much stuff to read. Like, you pick up papers and it's just like a whole story. There's just...
So you can actually, I do remember this, you can actually skip all that because there's dialogue that will kind of fill in that for you. You'll just get some, or there's going to be a cutscene you'll see where it will explain that. So you don't really necessarily need to, like, read the entire diary. I mean, I did, and then I'm like, oh, I remember this. There's going to be a cutscene that just covers all of what just happened.
Yeah, it makes sense, but I don't know. I just found this game to be very boring.
So you mentioned the spoken dialogue. At the beginning of the game, you will get a lot of phone calls from various people. Kate's mother, her friend, her, I guess, husband or fiance, and her boss. And all the dialogue between them just sounds so unnatural. And, like, everyone's kind of a selfish prick to Kate. It's all about them. My absolute, like, favorite terrible dialogue was when her fiance or husband calls. His name's Dan, and he's like, "Kate, when you coming back, bitch?" And she's like, work's a little complicated. She's trying to explain herself, and his response, instead of going, "Oh man, that sucks. I really, really wish you were here," he goes, "Whoa, the Goldbergs are coming tomorrow. It's a big deal. Why the fuck aren't you here? I can't believe you do this to me." And her response was, "Oh, but baby, I love you. Come on."
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And then the mother calls, like, hey, she's in the factory, and she's like, "Oh, honey, check this out. I met this person at lunch the other day." She's like, "Mom, I got it. Mom, I'm in, like, France. It's kind of a bad time." How much do you think those phone calls cost in 2002? It's got to be just astronomical, right?
Yeah, really.
I did like the old early 2000s cell phone to flip through, like, hit the button.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I had one of these. Colin, what'd you think?
I think I just liked how more straightforward this one was than Beneath the Steel Sky, but
It certainly was. It certainly was more straightforward.
Yeah, it got stuck a couple of times, like with that one ladder thing that extends with the right key. For whatever reason, I kept moving my mouse over it, but it wasn't giving me an indication of it being able to interact with it.
So I did experience a few glitches kind of like that, especially in the early stages of the game. Like, there was one where I'd go upstairs, and I had to change, like, a couple settings on my computer, because when Kate Walker would... So what happens is you click to, like, the top of a stairwell in various places, and then she'll get to the bottom, and then it'll go into this automatic slow sequence of her going up the stairs. Well, this happened 3 times before I finally changed settings, where she'd go up the stairs, and then when she got to the top, she'd disappear, and my mouse would disappear. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I couldn't, like... The whole game would kind of freeze, more or less. And even if I'd Control-Delete the sucker, I couldn't actually exit the game, so I had to shut down my computer hard way. It's like, man, what is going... It was so weird. It happened 3 times in 3 different places with the stairs. Very strange stuff.
Huh. Well, I had some of the same problems as Joey did. I couldn't quite get the thing to work at first because I have the GOG version, but I kind of accidentally got around it by going downloading the offline installers and then installing it on my computer that way, and then it finally worked. So if you're curious, Joey, give that a try.
I am not.
But yeah, I mentioned before the visuals in this are really beautiful. The visual style reminded me a lot of Myst. Of course, it's easy to make them look this good when the camera doesn't move.
Right.
And the whole style, it actually kind of reminded me of the first Professor Layton game, if more realistic.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a good comparison there for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, all the different documents to read. I was having flashbacks to the Talos Principle because there's a lot of reading in that too. Reading and puzzle solving.
Right.
But yeah, I was close to getting the train to work, but I found out there was still one more thing to do, and then I got partway through the Momo kid leading us to the cave, and then it was getting late, I was getting tired, so I stopped there. But yeah, maybe just out of curiosity, I'll go a little further today or tomorrow. But I should really be getting back to other games, like Danganronpa V3.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, you got to play more of that. So out of curiosity, guys. So I always tend to list the games I want to play and compete and how often I want to play these things. I don't know, it's just the way I go. And podcast games always come first because I like doing this and I like just essentially sampling all these things I kind of own and rarely ever play. So this podcast is great for that. But obviously right now I'm playing Triangle Strategy. I want to go into Live Alive and then Dragon Quest V. Like those are my top 3. And then there's like a bunch of other games that I like to kind of pick at over a period of time. Horizon Forbidden West I need to go back to, and just trying to complete my kind of PS5 backlog that I got going. There's only a few of those. So Colin, you talk about Danganronpa 3 and you're playing Dragon Quest V. Is there anything else? Like what happened to like Xenoblade?
Xenoblade, yeah.
Xenogears, that's a different game.
Yeah. Although I have that one too. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of... Things got busy on my end. I didn't have time to continue with it. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Just certain times a year get really busy with family gatherings and such. Just like birthdays and holidays. So I don't know. Maybe it was also that certain podcast games got incredibly long. Or maybe I just...
Well, I mean, when we pick games like BioShock and like, for me, Hitman Contracts and those kinds of things, like those things just take so priority and I get super into them and I play them for a long time. I mean, shit, I think I played like 12 hours of Deus Ex and that's just as soon as Joey in the last podcast said, "Oh, here's the better version and it's a free upgrade," I went, "Motherfucker." I kind of lost all interest in playing it after that. Because I was like, oh, I want to restart it, but I played so much of it.
Well, maybe I'll play Xenoblade Chronicles in place of Dragon Quest V until you finally get off your ass and play it again.
That, I think, might be a wise idea. I'll try to do better. I'll try to... You know what? I'll try to get where you are at least better, or at least close to it. So...
Yeah, the only problem is I can't play Xenoblade on the toilet.
How long are you spending on the toilet, sir? Are you eating too much Taco Bell again?
No, I just
Too many
it's a
Tim
once a day thing.
Hortons sausage sandwiches.
No. Keep that shit away from me.
You know what? My mom actually texted me and she goes, "There's a Tim Hortons that opened up in Houston, apparently." I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there was just this massive line.
Huh. Those things are usually on like the border of Canada and the States.
I know, right? Let me see.
It opened in Katy too.
Yeah. Yeah, of all places, right? Yeah, it was just
Wow.
it was just like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "What do you mean a Tim Hortons opened up in Katy? Like what?" It's like right off of Clay Road. It's nuts.
Oh, man.
Apparently, it's only soft open. Don't know when it's fully open. It grand opened on the 9th. Okay, it did open 9 days ago.
Yeah, they had a soft open at the end of August, but I was like, I didn't believe her at first. I'm like, surely that's not an actual Tim Hortons.
That's funny.
Isn't Tim Hortons going downhill in Canada? A lot of people are getting upset with them.
Oh, that's like a recurring theme, like all the time. It
I guess.
really started when they got rid of their coffee contract and McDonald's took the bean.
Well, it's more like they dragged their feet on renewing it, and then McDonald's snatched it up before they could.
Yeah, so they were idiots.
Yeah. But
All right,
even-
so back to Siberia. I pass Siberia, but it was damn close to not passing because of how slow it is.
yeah, I'll pass it too.
I failed it. It's way too slow.
Straight fail from Joey. All right. Okay. Beneath the Steel Sky, I give a B, and Siberia, I will also give a B. I surprisingly liked Beneath the Steel Sky more. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Oh,
I give B to Beneath,
Okay.
and I give a D to Siberia.
Ooh, harsh. All right,
It's
Colin.
functional, it's boring, and of course, I like Beneath.
I'll give them both a B. But I think Beneath the Steel Sky was a little more fun with all the dialogue and the setting. So I guess I'm leaning towards that one.
All right. So Joey's fail and a D. I will make this an overall C grade for Siberia because I was also on the lower end myself. Wild stuff. So everyone, Colin, it is your next theme pick. What is it?
It is feel-good games. It's time we broke away from all these drab cyberpunk or just punk stuff and went somewhere more bright and colorful.
I should have made my reviews purely based on how sad it made me. And how much despair I felt while playing it, and just a overall societal just dragging through the doldrums of your inner emotions of sadness. I should have really based it on that. Still, Beneath the Steel Sky probably wins. Definitely, yeah, I think so. Siberia was just
Junko
great.
Enoshima.
Yeah, feel good games. Nonsense, I say.
Well, maybe I'll do feel bad games.
Ooh, I love it, Joey. Feel bad games. What games make you just feel the worst?
Absolute worst.
That's funny. You're good. Okay, if you're listening and you enjoyed what you hear, please head on over to iTunes or your favorite podcasting outlet that you can leave a review, give us a nice little review, and if you have theme picks yourselves that you'd like to hear us talk about, or a game you would like to hear us talk about, we do have various master lists you can look at on redleafretrocast.blogspot.com. Guys, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye now.